Eruption Aurora. What you are viewing is a beautiful time-lapse of a green aurora that lit up the night sky above the erupting Reykjanes volcano in Iceland. Auroras, for context, are created when highly charged particles released by the sun slam into Earth's magnetic field, which then flow down towards the magnetic poles. Once these particles reach the upper atmosphere, aurora specifically in the thermosphere, they interact with various gas particles present where they shed some of their energy, causing the atoms to react and release a photon, producing light. In this case, the color green is caused by an interaction with oxygen molecules at between 100 and 300 kilometers altitude. This spectacular display wouldn't have been easily visible from the same vantage point a mere 2 days earlier, as the eruption, which initially emplaced 1,150 cubic meters per second, has likely declined all the way to 50 cubic meters per second, producing less of a glow. More specifically, on day 4 of its eruption, there are now only 2 active fissure segments in addition to 1 spatter cone which are still erupting lava. Lava is being continuously ejected at the present to heights of 27 meters or 88.6 feet above each segment, with occasional bursts that reach double this height. This spattering, as you might call it, has created a row, yes, a crater row, which is the scientific for this, via a series of 12 to 18 meter high spatter cone vents. For reference, when the eruption does eventually end, the crater row segments which have developed spatter cones will likely look something like this. However, the largest segment could create a spatter cone large enough that it becomes fairly comparable in size to this spatter cone I visited at the crater of the Moon volcano in Idaho. This is a probable outcome at whatever becomes the dominant vent, and in order of most to least likely on becoming the dominant vent we have the middle segment, the northern segment, and the southern spatter cone. Once lava eventually becomes concentrated in a singular vent, it may allow for additional expansion of the lava field to occur through the creation of a single larger river of molten rock rather than multiple smaller ones. Currently, the active lava streams are still flowing in 2 directions, which I have outlined here. Because of this motion, the lava field has continued to expand, specifically to a size which is now 7.93 square kilometers or 3.06 square miles. The reason this might sound like a much larger jump compared to the daily change noted in my analysis of the lava field's area on 2 prior days is because I made a mistake. On those 2 prior days I underestimated the size of the existing lava field, an error which has now been corrected, hence the seemingly large jump in the size of the lava field. Regardless, lava has now not only covered the entirety of lava field expansion, the former main Blue Lagoon parking lot, but also advanced another 460 meters or 1,509 feet beyond it. Here's a helpful American football field for scale. However, this seems like a meager figure when you realize that a grand total of 1,482 of these is equivalent to the size of the current eruption's lava field, all emplaced during the last 4 days. Quite a big figure. This advance onto a portion of Iceland Road 426 brings up the current damage estimate to $5.84 million. Due to the declining eruptive activity, the risk map for the eruption has been decreased in the zone that encompasses the town of Grindavik from red to orange. It is near impossible to predict how long the current eruption will last, as its final phase consisting of a singular spatter cone can become incredibly drawn out, and such a phase has even started yet. However, it would be reasonable to expect several more days to possibly even weeks of eruptive activity rather than months based on the eruption's current behavior. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel members